better fit with the new team? Is it Russ as a Steeler or Kirk as a Falcon?
I think Kirk is a Falcon because if you look at the skill position, I love Drake London, I love Kyle Pitts, and I love Bijan Robinson. So he just fits in. He's a natural thrower of the football. He's in a dome, so think about it. He leaves one dome, goes to another dome. New Orleans has a dome, and Tampa's in warm weather. In Carolina, you might get some rain late in the season if you play them late in the season, but the majority of his game is going to be in a controlled environment. So I like that for him in Pittsburgh. You never know what the weather's going to be in Pittsburgh, Baltimore, Cleveland, or Cincinnati. So for me, I like the addition of Kirk Cousins. I'm surprised at the years. I'm surprised at the number that he actually got, but I do think he's a better fit in Atlanta than Russ is in Pittsburgh.
I'll be damned if you right, because you ain't. Oh, no, Shay. Oh, no. Oh, we're not doing that. We're not doing that today. Now, I understand that, you connected to the world of Denver in ways I will never be. And so there's a lot of stuff that you know that you don't say. Props to you. And I get it. I understand. I understand that Russell came there, and at the end of the day, the only thing he brought there that was good was Sierra. I get it. But let me tell you something right now. Let me tell you both something. We're going to go with Russell Wilson with this particular question. We're going to get that out the way right now. You got Pickens. You could possibly keep Deontay Johnson. If you don't get him, I got faith in the Steelers organization finding a wide receiver because they always do, okay? We got Freiermuth at the tight end spot, an offensive line that isn't as pathetic as it was in the past. I got running backs in Najee Harris and Warren coming out of the backfield. I got a defense that lugged that damn offense to the playoffs last year. I'm talking about Kenny Pickett. I'm talking about Mitchell Trubisky. I'm talking about Mason Rudolph. Thank God at least two of them are probably going to be gone, okay? And so I'm looking at it from that perspective, and I'm saying, wait a minute. This Steelers team was still in the playoffs, and you're going to get somebody like Russell Wilson, who, by the way, is not the most inaccurate dude in the world, who doesn't beat himself, has never thrown more than 13 interceptions in a season, and he only did that one time, okay? I'm looking at this brother right here with the weapons that the Steelers have around them and the potential that a decent quarterback could ultimately beget, and I'm like, wait a minute. We ain't no damn thing about Atlanta. I understand London there. I understand Pitts there. I understand Bijan Robinson is there. I get it. But they got a lot of holes to fill in Atlanta. Pittsburgh's a different matter. This is a plus.
Look at your division you're in.
So,
talk about the division you're in.
So what?
So what?
I thought you told me it was about competition. I thought you said you scared. Say you scared. Don't be running from competition. Your argument on behalf of Kirk Cousins is that you in the NFC South, that's the reason I'm supposed to be happy? Excuse me. Yes. By the way, I don't even know if he's going to be better than Baker Mayfield.
One of. Oh.
What you got, Boog?
Man, take so hot, it's got fire coming from it.
Come on, man. Come on, Booger, man. Come on now. Get the Steelers some love now.
Yeah, listen, I'm going to get the Steelers some love. The Steelers overall are a better football team, but the better fit is Kirk Cousins in Atlanta because Kirk's a better player. Like, Stephen A., I understand why you got all you feeling nice and warm and fuzzy inside because Russell Wilson and Sierra are coming to Pittsburgh and you around here singing black and yellow, black and yellow. Hey, listen, yellow, I understand that. I get that. But Kirk Cousins is a better quarterback at this point in time in his career. Russell Wilson is a guy, I think we get confused about the Russ of when he was in his heyday in Seattle because I haven't seen that Russ in a while. And I don't care what the numbers say. He was so good in Seattle, they told him to get out. He was so good in Denver, they said, you know what, we'll pay $85 million for you to leave. So let's understand the quarterback that you're getting in Pittsburgh. You're not getting the guy who went to, 8 or 9 Pro Bowls in Seattle. You're not getting that guy. Kirk Cousins has shown us that he can put that football down the field, just ask Justin Jefferson and the weapons that he had up in Minnesota. So I think if you're Atlanta, you got to be ecstatic. No, he is not a world beater being a top 5 quarterback. But Kirk Cousins, with those weapons, he's going to be the ultimate point guard in Atlanta. And if you're just being objective, you have to say that the better quarterback is Kirk Cousins. Now, the better defense might be in Pittsburgh, and the better overall team might be in Pittsburgh, but the better offense and the better quarterback is going to be in Atlanta, and that's Kirk Cousins.
Nobody is saying that Kirk Cousins is not better than Russell Wilson at this point. But since you brought it up, what about who he was throwing the damn ball to? Okay? I mean, that brother, ain't no Jefferson in Atlanta. They got some weapons, but ain't no Justin Jefferson in Atlanta. Let's get that out the way right now. But that brother Pickens In Pittsburgh, that's an entirely different animal. Am I lying? Am I lying, fella? Shannon?
No, you're not lying, but you make it seem like Drake London is fettuccine.
No, he's not fettuccine. He's not fettuccine.
Okay.
He's not, I'm not trying to say that. And I got to defer to you to some degree because Shannon, what he do, he get ringers, Booger. What he do is he get football players. They show up on basketball courts playing football and just running roughshod over people. And they do stuff like that.
I heard about that.
That's what he does. That's what he does. You see what I'm saying? So I already know a thing or two.
But see, Stephen A., I think sometimes, and Booger's right, we keep looking at a player and we look at a player what he once was as opposed to what he currently is. And so I'm just looking at Kirk Cousins as he is. You look at the numbers that he was putting up even before he got hurt. And if you look at Russell Wilson, what he was in his 2 years in Denver and his last year in Seattle, he's not the same player. That's not to say he's not a good player, but he was a great player in his prime. Can he recapture that?
But what I'm saying, Shannon, is this. My pushback to that would be, listen, the one thing we know about a quarterback is that they can't catch the ball. They throw it, but they can't catch it to themselves, okay? Who you throwing it to? I'm looking at the weapons that he has available to him in Pittsburgh compared to what Kirk Cousins has available to him in Atlanta and comparing that to what he was accustomed to having in Minnesota. And even with Minnesota, whether it's Diggs or ultimately Jefferson, the man got one playoff victory on his resume to show for it. One. Come on, y'all. I can't take that into consideration.
But you got to look at what Russ was going to in Seattle. You make it seem like Lockett and DK Metcalf were they slouches?
No, of course not. I would never say that about DK Metcalf.
I was just checking.
I would never say that. He's the one that helped me get in shape. He's the one that helped me get in shape. I mean, I would never say that about DK Metcalf.
As far as the Kirk Cousins of this, guys, Raheem Morris said at his press conference, the reason I got this job is because the regime before me couldn't fix the quarterback position. So he told us from his opening statement that they were going to be aggressive and finding a quarterback. And Shannon, you're right. You got to overpay for me to leave. You got to overpay for me to uproot my family. But more importantly, you got to overpay to give your fan base and your organization hope. If you look at what the Falcons have done offensively, you got Bijan Robinson, you got Drake London, you got Kyle Pitts, you got an offensive line that is above average. So all they were missing was the quarterback. So you go out and you get Kirk Cousins, who is an above average quarterback. Is he top 5, top 10? No, he's not. But he's an above average quarterback that can distribute the football. He may be the #1 game manager in football. And when you have all the first round picks that they have offensively, that's all the Falcons need. Now, what they're going to have to do is fix that defense. They don't have a guy that can rush the passer. The defense hasn't been able to stop anyone. But this move makes them the favorite, I think, in the NFC South because they have the most explosive offense. They have the best quarterback in the NFC South. And this was a no-brainer deal for Raheem Morris, who's on his second stint with Atlanta. He was going to make sure that if you're going to judge me based on what I do now, I got to have a quarterback. I didn't have one last time that I could win with in his mind. Now he has one. So I love the deal. Even though they had to overpay for Kirk Cousins, I think the Atlanta Falcons feel really, really good, especially with the #8 pick I think they have in the draft. If they can go out and get a pass rusher, this has been a really good offseason so far for the Falcons.
Well, let me say something here, fellas. I mean, first of all, I appreciate the fact that I'm talking to my two brothers right here. But let's talk about something here, okay? We understand they've upgraded at the quarterback position. We understand what Raheem Morris wanted and why he wanted that. We understand that Kirk Cousins, over the last 6 years, led the NFL, if I remember correctly, completion percentage 67.9, okay, and was the passer rating 101.2, third only to Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers in the last 6 seasons. We get all of that, all right? And so I'm not refuting anything Shannon or Booger McFarland has said, all right? Or shall I say Mr. Chippendale's Club Shay Shay, whatever name that worked for you today. Okay? Did I say one of them, all right? One of them worked, okay? What I'm saying, fellas, is this, however. Can we dial it back just a touch? Everybody, oh my God, what a great day this is for the Atlanta Falcons. And oh my Lord, they've been upgraded. Let me give you a few names that Kirk Cousins has been teammates with. Dalvin Cook, remember that brother? Remember how bad that brother was? I mean, he's still playing now. He still can do some things, but he was on another level years ago. Justin Jefferson is on that level. Adam Thielen was once big time in a lot of people's eyes. Stephon Diggs is still big time in a lot of people's eyes. Those were Kirk Cousins' teammates. Over the last 6 years, at some point in time or another, the brother got one playoff victory. Can we calm down? I mean, just a touch. And then Booger gonna come out here. I mean, it's a really big deal, relocating his family. Didn't Adam Schefter tell us that didn't Adam Schefter tell us that the family is in the Atlanta area? The family of the wives. They ain't in Minnesota. He going home. That's like me sitting there going like this. Man, Shannon's really stepping out there going to Atlanta, man. You say Shannon's really, I mean, that's really a big deal for Shannon to be going to Atlanta. I mean, that's a second home for that brother. What you talking about? What you talking about? That's not a big deal. Now, if the brother was sitting up there and he was in Atlanta and went someplace like Minnesota, that would be a little bit different. That's not the case here. The brother going home. 4 raise, getting additional money that he wasn't expecting to get him, an additional year that he wasn't expecting to get, and he got 1 playoff victory to show for it in the last 6 years. Can we calm down? That's all I'm saying. I know he can play. I know it's an upgrade. I know if you Pitts, I know if you Bijan Robinson and the crew, I know if you London and those boys, you should be happy. I got it. I understand he's not a scrub, but this guy got 1. He got less playoff victories than Dak Prescott. Come on, y'all. Can we calm down? That's all I ask.
Yeah.
That's all I ask.
Stephen A., he has a 76 and 67 and 2 record. So it's not like he's just blowing people away. But I think the thing is, Boog, is that when you look at this and having played the game as long as you and I have, Boog, and Stephen A., you've covered the game, the quarterback is the one position that they'll pay you on what they believe you'll do. All the other positions, you must do it first in order to get paid. They'll play a quarterback on projections. Well, they'll say, well, look at the weapons that he has. He has a Drake London. He's getting a Kyle Pitts. He's getting a Bijan Robinson. And so, whoa, with all this. But what happened when he had Thielen? What happened when he had Justin Jefferson? What happened when he had all these guys? It wasn't like he was making deep playoff runs. As a matter of fact, in all his years, he only has 1 playoff win to show for it. So, but the thing is, again, is what they call free agency, and we all want an opportunity to test it. We want to know what our true value is, because you tell me A when all the while my value might be B, C, D, E, and E. And so Kirk Cousins got an opportunity to hit the market. This is not the first time that he's hit the market, Boog. You remember Washington, they franchised him twice. Yep. And then he went to Minnesota, and Minnesota said, we believe so much in you, Kirk Cousins. They did something no other player in the history of the NFL had done. They fully guaranteed his entire contract. And they said, you know what, Kirk? You playing okay for us. We're going to fully guarantee the next one. And you know what, Kirk? Just for good measure to show that we really, really love you, we're going to guarantee you the next one. So the man has gotten made $330 million fully guaranteed. And Atlanta say, to top it off, we're going to make sure you go out with a bang. We're going to give you another $100 million. And the time you put your name, Kirk Cousins, on this contract, has $50 more million for you.
That's right. And by the way, and again, 1 playoff victory. And Booger, just for reference material, Booger McFarland, 1-3 lifetime in playoff series, right? Notable quarterbacks with more wins than Cousins since he became a full-time starter back in Washington in 2015. Nick Foles, 4. Jimmy Garoppolo, 4. Brock Purdy, 4. Blake Bortles and Ryan Tannehill, 2. These individuals have all had more playoff victories than Kirk Cousins. So maybe instead of celebrating Kirk Cousins this morning, we should celebrate his damn agent. All agents should be aware that any talent that's out there, they might be looking to fire their agent to hire the dude that represents Kirk Cousins, because that man clearly knows what the hell he's doing.